Thanks very much.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The lunatic is on the grass. The lunatic is on the grass. Remembering games and daisy chains and laughs. Got to keep the loonies on the path. The lunatics in the hall. The lunatics are in my hall. The paper holds their folded faces to the floor. Every day the paper boy brings more. And if the dam breaks over many years too soon, if there is no room for hell, and if your head's filled with dark foreboding soon, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The lunatics in my head. The lunatics are in my head. You raise the blame, you make the change, you rearrange me till I'm sane. You lock the door and throw away the key. There's someone in my head, but it's not me. And if cloud bursts thunder in your ear, you shout a north scene here. And if the beggars start playing different tunes, see you on the dark side of the moon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank you very much. We always like to start our shows with a classic bluegrass tune like that one. That's one of the old classics. It was performed by the Floyd Boys. Back in the 1970s. They did it a little slower, but we pepped it up for this crowd tonight. We're going to do a few minor adjustments to the sound here, if you'll bear with us.
And could we also have a little less banjo in the monitor?
We're all running kind of late, so please bear with us. This next tune is a song about hell and the kind of food they serve there.
Which is also very, very hot.
Yes, all the plates are hot. It's the title song from our second CD. It's called The Highway Cafe of the Damned. I was driving down the interstate through Winslow, Arizona. I had 7 vices on my mind. Sloth and avarice,
Fornication, television, whiskey, beer, and wine.
Mama tried to raise me better, but I held her in contempt and I punched her in the nose. And I laughed the day that I broke the heart of my San Antonio rose. Lightning next the sky as I wondered why I had come to no good end. So I lit another fag and I took a drag. Smoke was my only friend. The thunder was a-clapping and the wipers were a-slapping when I heard an awful crash. Then I woke up at this Formica counter with a plate of corned beef hash. Waitress, waitress, bring me some coffee. Make it as hot as you can. Bring me a light for this everlasting night at the Highway Cafe of Dan. There's a black velvet painting of the king of rock and roll hanging just beside the door. The short order cook has a lean and hungry look as he soils the kitchen floor. The radio is playing Barry Manilow incessantly. It almost drives me mad. A drunken local trawler tries to pitch the double wallet to a salesman clad in black. Waitress, waitress, bring me some coffee. Make it as hot as you can. bring me a light for this everlasting night at the Highway Cafe of Dan. I try to leave, but eight-headed Cerberus is holding me at bay. The trucks zoom by, and I know that I am doomed to forever stay. Death, thou comest when I had thee least in mind. I was cut down in my prime. Sentenced to stale rolls and warmed over casseroles until the end of time. Waitress, waitress, bring me some coffins. And bring me a light for this everlasting night at the Highway Cafe of the Dan. Waitress, waitress, bring me some Kafka. I know he's your kind of man. And bring me a light for this everlasting night at the Highway Cafe of the Dan. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks very much.
A little bit more there. Back in the monitors, please.
Well, it turned into a beautiful night, didn't it?
Gorgeous.
We were afraid we were going to get rained out tonight, but I'm glad that didn't happen because it's really nice to see everybody out there.
Of course, I can't really see you, but
No, but
In fact, everybody's probably gone home, but
yeah.
we wouldn't know.
How many of y'all listen to Top 40 radio?
all right.
Well, you haven't heard us, have you? Yay. Well, we're the Austin Lounge Lizards from Austin, Texas.
Check one.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're applauding us or Austin, Texas?
Yeah, really. Or reptiles in general.
We like to make enemies everywhere we go, so.
We're working on it.
Speak for yourself, Richard.
We were in Nashville, and I was a little afraid to do this last song, this song that's
This
coming up
next
here,
song.
this next song, this forthcoming song, because
It's actually the third coming song.
the song that's coming up now, because it kind of it's kind of iconoclastic toward some of the top 40 icons, such as Hank Card.
Yes, I'm a top 40 icon.
You guys are full of surprises tonight.
So
Anyway.
it's a tribute.
Yeah, it's a tribute, and not only that, it's the way we really feel deep inside. All across America, a new day is dawning.
Shades of night are slipping away.
People are waking up, stretching and yawning.
And this is what they say.
Put the Oak Ridge boys in the slammer. Throw away the key. Give 'em all a 9-pound hammer.
Just keep 'em
away from me.
Put the
Oak Ridge boys in the big house. Lock all the windows and gates. Replace their musical stardom
with an
ignominious fate. Lunchtime in the USA.
bologna and American cheese.
The same 40 songs on the radio.
Call the music police
And send the
Oak Ridge boys up the river. Stick 'em where the sun don't show. Moor 'em in the Monongahela
or out
in the Ohio. Put the Oak Ridge boys in the pokey. Silence them forevermore. Chase 'em down out of the Smokies
with
break bats and 2x4s. Oh, here they come, yeah.
Sunset on the Oak Ridge boy.
Riding that prison bus.
Aliens have stolen their luggage
and given it back to us.
Put the Oak Ridge boys in the slammer, throw away the key, give them all a 9-pound hammer.
Just keep on
away from me.
Put the Oak Ridge boys in the calaboose.
Never set them free. They're music criminals on the loose.
Like Kenny, Bocephus, and Lee Greenwood.
Don't forget Billy Ray.
I think we really should put the Oak Ridge boys away.
Oak Ridge boys away.
Lock them up. Thank you. Y'all be sure and sign the petition before you go home, okay? Thank you.
Bluegrass music is real rich in sentimental songs about the old home place, and sometimes it's to our benefit to pretend we're a bluegrass band. So, like tomorrow at Winterhawk, for instance, it'll be a good idea to try to pull that off. So we needed to come up with a sentimental song about the old home place, and this is what we came up with.
Do any of you come from a hometown?
We did, but it wasn't Austin. But
I'm just checking. You never know.
now this.
When life calls me to travel far and wide, thoughts of home are with me as down the road I ride. Up on the highest mountain or out on the deep blue sea, I can't forget my friends and family. There's no place on the planet quite the same. No matter how far out I go to play this worldly game, breezes may smell sweeter when far afield they blow, but back to where I came from I must go. To that godforsaken hellhole I call home. Always draws me back again wherever I may roam. As squalid as Calcutta, as decadent as Rome, that godforsaken hellhole I call home. When I see that welcome sign, I shed a tear. Why have I come back again? What am I doing here? But like a lifelong sentence without hope for parole, I can't escape these shackles on my soul. In that godforsaken hellhole I call home, always draws me back again wherever I may roam. Farther out than Fargo, lonelier than Nome, that godforsaken hellhole I call home. I'll play it. Well, the stranger came to town and asked me why. Instead of pulling in again, I don't just pass it by. But all my friends are buried here and some of them are dead. So home is where I'll always hang my head. In that godforsaken hellhole I call home, always draws me back again wherever I may roam. As squalid as Calcutta, as decadent as Rome, that godforsaken
us off our new album called Painting on Velvet. Kirk Wade.
Thank you very much. That's for everybody out there with a hometown.
I'd like to add at this point, even though we didn't have a sound check, the sound guys have done a great job in slapping a good mix together for us. Very little time. We appreciate it.
Yeah. We had all kinds of trouble getting here today. Hank got on the plane and ended up in Boston instead of Albany. And
My surprise.
Kirk's car broke down
Pittsburgh.
in wherever it was.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
He drove all the way from Texas to Pittsburgh, and that's as far as it went.
Yeah, Conrad's not even in the band, but he's up here. It's been a difficult day.
Just trying to keep me away.
We just met him.
Yes. Pittsford, it's right down the street. Yeah.
And Kirk is having his alternator rebuilt at which gas station there, Kirk?
It's a mobile station. But
Mobile station. They're doing a good job there.
Real nice guy named Rick. Well, we're gonna do a gunfighter ballad now. It's off our first album. It's all about a gunfight between a vegetable and another vegetable.
One of which takes the human form. It all takes place out in southern Arizona.
The daylight was a-slipping from the mountains to the east. He grabbed his guns and he mounted up. He was off, to say the least. He drove along in silence. A chill was in the air. The monsters had to be cut down, they'd soon be everywhere.
Saguaro, a menace to the
His name was David Grunman, a noxious little twerp. Saw the giant plants as a planting gang and himself as Wyatt Earp. He drove out to the desert, they wouldn't come to town. In Maricopa County, he vowed to shoot them down.
Saguaro, a menace to the west.
He strolled up to the first one, not the largest of the lot. With a lightning move and a sidestep, he killed him with one shot. When the smoke had cleared the cactus, had lost that final round, 200 years of nature's work lay splattered on the ground. He crossed the small arroyo. The sun was in his eyes. He was looking for the leader. He'd know him by his size. When all at once, upon a ridge, the grinning gunman saw 27 feet of succulent challenging his draw.
Saguaro, a menace to the west.
Slightly disadvantaged by the angle of the sun. But after all, the cactus wasn't packing any gun. He made his move, his fingers twitched. He drew, his guns did bark, and echoed with his laughter as the bullets hit their mark. The giant cactus trembled, then came that warning sound. The mighty arm of justice came hurtling toward the ground. The gunman staggered backward, he whimpered and he cried, "The Saguaro crushed him like a bug, and David Grunman died." Saguaro,
David Grunman.
A menace to the west.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all very much. That's off our first album, The Creatures from the Black Saloon. We do have 4 CDs out. Creatures from the Black Saloon, The Highway Cafe of the Damned, Lizard Vision, and our brand new release on Flying Fish Records, Paint Me on Velvet.
And this next song we're going to do is the first song on that new CD. It's one that Hank wrote when he was in his rare Cajun mode.
Yeah. Right? So if you're in the mood, it is a Cajun tune, so if you're in the mood to say, hey, at any point, feel free. That doesn't come very often during our show. It's a song that's based on the story of Moby Dick.
From the Classics Illustrated version.
Yes. But it's shortened to about 3 minutes and moved to Louisiana. And we eliminate some of the minor characters, like the whale. In other words, we tighten up the story all around and make it a much better, much better thing to listen to.
It needed doing.
Yeah. It's a song called Boudreaux was a nutcase. Boudreaux was a nutcase, we knew it from the start. He had a dark and evil soul and malice in his heart. He lived alone on Lake Lafish. If anyone would ask, he'd say, I'm gonna catch that largemouth bass. The bass was bigger than a gator, 8 men for a snack. As white and strong as Huey Long, his name was Moby Jack. 1,000 men had tried him, he'd made fools of them all. Boudreaux swore he'd mount him on his wall. He had a mighty heavy root of 100 different dudes. Brought along a little Oscar and a case of goose. Had a strange obsession, he was gonna catch that fish. He was sorry that he got his wish. He was sorry that he got his hay. Years he took his boat out every day and night. Through wind and rain he fished in vain, he never got a bite. The village people mocked him, he didn't seem to hear. He knew that his strange destiny was near. He cast his favorite lure into the water in the rain. He felt it roll upon his line, the strongest of freight train. Finally landed Moby Jack, he looked him in the eye. And the stronger of the two survive. The mud down on the bottom is as thick as gumbo root. His ghost is still fishing at the mouth of the big bayou. Never wanted Boudreaux for a slice of Cajun dish. He was sorry that he got. 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 He was sorry that he got his Merci.
Thank you.
Folk music is our life.
We're going to do a sensitive song now.
One for you folks out there.
And because it's such a sensitive song, 3 of us in the band aren't even allowed to play on it. Only Conrad, the non-member, and Kirk, our bass player, are sensitive enough to start this song. And so we'll let them do it.
That's right. This is our brand new title song to our new album. And Conrad, are you ready for this? It's for all you manly men out there. Here we go.
I'm a man of few words. But a few is enough. A man don't need to talk. He just gets up and walks when the going gets rough. I got feelings down deep. Still I think you don't care. Well, I've made up my mind, got to leave you behind and start living out there. But paint me on velvet and do not disguise the bright silver teardrop that you brought to my eyes. Or hang me out by the roadside for the whole world to see. Jesus and Elvis, the Confederate flag, and Willie and me.
Willie.
I ain't finished yet. I run away to a motel, but before I checked in, I met a fisherman named Steve, and we decided we'd leave for a gathering up in with our drums in our hands and our hearts on our sleeve. We stood around in the rain just to sharing our pain and learning to grieve. So paint me on velvet and do not disguise the bright silver teardrops that you brought to these eyes. So tell me out by the roadside, and there will all be Jesus and Elvis, the dogs playing poker, and Willie and me.
Thank you. A song of manly self-pity. Conrad Dyson. Thanks again.
All right.
We're going to do a Western swing tune now. It's about it's an unusual Western swing tune because it's about a visit to a religious convention. It turned into a song.
Yeah, you know, usually Hank writes about things that he knows about.
But this is a love song.
Road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I swore I would ignore your sweet embrace. But at the Baptist annual convention, my good intentions vanished in the smoke without a trace. Now I'm going to hell in your heavenly arms. Can't be a saint 'cause I worship your joy. Out of control, but ignore the alarm. Going to hell in your heavenly arms. Oh, the eyes are the expressway to the soul, and you drove into my soul with just a glance. I froze just like a rabbit in your headlights. I did not try to run, I didn't want a second chance. Now I'm going to hell in your heavenly arms. Ain't be a saint 'cause I worship your joy. Out of control, but ignore the alarm. Going to hell in your heavenly arms. Oh, we're headed down that road that goes one way now, and the preacher will not even speak our names. It gets a little hotter every day now, but we're bound to keep on going till we both burst into flames. Yeah, just going to hell in your heavenly arms. Yes, I confess that I worship your charm. Out of control, but ignore the alarm. Going to hell in your heavenly arms. Going to hell in your heavenly arms.
Western lounge music.
Mr. Soundman, can I have a tiny bit more of the guitar mic, please?
This next song, we won't know why. This next song is from our second album. It's the only song we have that is about this part of the country. So,
We're big authorities on that subject.
yes. It's a love song set up here in New England. It's also a tragic tale of not only lost love, but of lost environment. So it's an industrial pollution and love song. Unusual, I'll grant you. You guys about ready? I'm dying up here. I have nothing more to say about
You're
this song.
dead.
I think I'm done right dead.
You know, I heard that Alistair Cook's job was open, Hank. You sound pretty dignified and stuffy.
Thank you.
Maybe you could do that.
It's the nicest thing you've ever said.
Acid rain. One, two, one.
beside Niagara Falls, chased her through the Finger Lakes and up to Hudson Bay. She could never love a drifter from the USA. Acid rain keep on falling while her name I am calling. I walk the shores of Lake Champlain in the placid acid rain. Walk together through the forests full of dying trees, tasted the sulfuric acid on the April breeze. Went canoeing on the lake, the fish were floating by. She read me her manifesto, I had no reply. Acid rain keep on falling while her name I am calling. It's not my fault, I'm not to blame for the placid acid rain. She met a rainbow warrior from the south of France, sailed off to New Zealand for adventure and romance. Left me here complaining that we'll always be apart. Left me here with all this acid raining in my heart. Acid on falling while her name I am calling. I walk the shores of Lake Champlain in the placid acid rain.
Hank Carr. Thank you all. Thank you very much. We usually write all of our own material. As you can tell, it's all stuff you've probably never heard before, and
Never will again.
probably never will again.
Well,
unless you
Yeah,
come
if-
over to this table over here and maybe purchase a CD or two of ours. We have 4.
So better hurry while there's a couple left.
yeah, they told us that a lot of you would be leaving before the show was over, and I guess they know because they've heard our stuff before. But if you do, stop by the table there. We got stuff for you. This next song we did not write. It's called Stony Creek, and we're not sure why it's called Stony Creek. It doesn't have any lyrics to give away why it's called Stony Creek, but we assume that it's named after a subdivision. I don't know what it's like up here, but where we come from, they always name subdivisions after whatever they bulldozed in order to build the subdivision. So it seems to be that it's called Stony Creek.
Tom Pittman on banjo, Conrad Dysler lead guitar, Richard Dowden fiddle.
And two other guys.
We do appreciate that.
This next song is from a little different perspective than we're used to doing it. This is a song about the war between the states, which is probably not a real hot topic of conversation up in this part of the country. Down where I'm from in Georgia, they still haven't forgiven General Sherman. But this is our song about the way the war between the states went.
This is the this part probably didn't make it into the textbooks here in Vermont. I'd like you all to help us out on the last line of the chorus, which the line goes, "And we lost everything."
Everything.
Everything, yeah. So you can help us when you hear that come around, just shout along, "And we lost everything."
And feel it. I mean, just imagine if you just lost everything. Like
It don't mean a thing.
if you
but
just
ain't
wrecked
got
your
that
Mercedes
twang.
or something like that, you know?
If you can.
My name is Buford June. I am a southern man. I had a southern family and I had some southern land. I wore it out with cotton in the good old southern way. I had a southern accent which I still retain today. But then along came the war between the states. And we lost everything. When Lincoln was elected, the drippings hit the fan. The cry for Southern independence trickled through the land. I enlisted in the army with Mr. Ed, my horse. My wife ran the plantation with our happy slaves, of course. But then along came the war between the states. And we lost everything. Well, we beat them at Manassas, and we beat them at Bull Run. We beat them boys at Chancellorsville. We were having lots of fun. We beat them at Parcheesi and at Super Mario 2. We lost old Stonewall Jackson, but you're bound to lose a few. But then along came the war between the states, and we lost everything. We invaded Pennsylvania, the turnpike, it was long. We all marched into Stuckey's, 100,000 strong. The pecan logs were delicious, right? They were a tasty treat. How could we know that later we would taste a great defeat? But then along came the war between the states, and we lost everything. The Yankees had our number, so they called us on the phone. And they said, "Hey, you guys has lost the war. Why don't you go on back home?" And Appomattox General Lee surrendered up his soul. The fact that things looked pretty bad could no longer be ignored. But then along came the war between the states. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is so sad.
Y'all did that real good. Everything.
Boy, how'd you like that authentic Yankee accent by your Conrad here? He's been practicing for weeks on that.
Try to get it right.
Thank you.
We're kind of shocked that everybody else up here doesn't talk like that. What's wrong?
I was captured during the war and held in a prison camp near Fort Dix.
Use guys.
I had to learn how to talk the language. So.
The lingo, huh?
Language.
Well, we've got one up our third album, our third CD, Lizard Vision, on Flying Fish Records. This is for all you. We have any attorneys out in the audience tonight? Are there any attorneys out there?
Proud
Any
attorneys.
Any lawyers? You don't want to show
Be
off,
proud,
do you?
be proud.
We do know of one in the second row, but she's asking that she remain nameless.
Who,
Sorry.
Judy? In fact, she's. I think there's an injunction against this. In fact.
Well, we're gonna do this song anyway, no matter what the cost.
It's all about those lovely people in the music business.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In California, out in LA town, hit for the tallest office building around. Take the elevator to the 31st floor, right down the hallway. There's a gold-plated door. It ain't no sin. Come on in. I'm a rock and roll lawyer. I'll shut the door so we can be alone. I'll put some Rolling Stones on the dictaphone. Grab a cold beer you can light up to. There ain't nobody here gonna tell on you. Do what you please, just pay your fees to the rock and roll lawyer. You wanna blow up paying taxes? Well, I'll never fail. If the feds don't understand, I'll get you out of that jail. You wanna breach a little contract? It can be done. You wanna beat a cocaine rap? You gotta give me some. Yeah. I'll play that bluegrass. We'll sue your drummer in perfect 4/4 time. We'll sue your manager for his last cent dime. We'll sue the record label. Hey, now ain't this fun? We'll sue your best friend if you still have one. It ain't no crime, 'cause I'm a rock and roll lawyer. Don't waste my time, 'cause I'm a rock and roll lawyer. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, rock out Vermont. All right.
Okay, this next song is about one of our favorite Bible characters. He occurs rather frequently in the second half. Uh-oh. Looks like this is going to be a while.
Yeah, Tom, I think you got some talking to do.
Well, you picked a bad time because I have absolutely nothing to say. Oh gosh, they're all going to do this. Well, maybe you could talk a while there. Now, this is a part of every bluegrass repertoire is the gospel song.
I guess we could talk between ourselves.
Oh no, man!
No, you don't want to talk to me
No,
anymore.
no. That would be rude. Not that we're not rude, but no. This next song is a gospel song, and part of every bluegrass repertoire is the gospel song. And
It's also on our third album, the Lizard Vision album.
since we play it in tune on the album, they seem to think we should get the instruments in tune now.
Maybe we should do this without instruments, Tom. That might sound a lot better.
Well, I don't plan to use one. No.
Oh, I won't if you won't.
All right.
Okay.
I thought you used one.
Okay, I'll play my instrument.
We rehearse a lot.
And now Tom's going to undergo a personality change and become the self-righteous, irreverent Herschel Funman.
I know you smoke, I know you drink that brew. Why, I just can't abide a sinner like you, you know. God can't either, that's why I know it to be true that Jesus loves me, but he can't stand you. Going straight to heaven, boys, when I die, 'cause I've crossed every T and I've dotted every I. Well, my preacher tells me I'm God's kind of guy. That's why Jesus loves me, but you're gonna fry.
God loves all her children by God. That don't mean she won't incinerate some. Can't you feel those hot flames licking you?
I'm raising my kids in a righteous way, so don't be sending your kids over to my house to play. Well, yours will grow up stoned and liberal and gay, I know. Jesus told me on the phone today. On MCI, I believe.
Jesus loves me, and this I know. And he told me where you're gonna go. There's lots of room for your guy down below. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jesus loves me.
Jesus loves me. I know he does. He told me so just this morning on the phone. He said, son, I love you. He speaks English pretty well considering it's a second language for him and all, but we talk every day. He doesn't call me, I call him. I've got a 900 number in Tulsa I call him at. Sometimes I get the recorder. Now, why do you need a recorder when you're omnipresent? I don't understand that. Well, I don't understand. Jesus loves me, but he can't stand you.
Hallelujah.
And if you were offended by that, it's probably about you. Okay.
I resent that, Kirk.
All right. We're going to take the focus down to Nashville.
That's Nashville with a G.
City that we have a love-hate relationship with.
We love them and they hate us.
This song is just one more reason, because it's a beautiful two-step. It's also a sing-along if you know the words. When the people come to Nashville, they walk the downtown streets. They see the car Hank died in, then they grab a bite to eat. They visit Tootsie's Orchid Lounge and Ernie's record store. Then they stagger on up to Music Row, where they holler at every door. I wanna ride in the car Hank died in. I wanna stretch out the back of that big old Cadillac, ride that shiny car to every honky tonk and bar. The barroom walls are shining with the pictures of the stars. The pawn shop walls are cluttered with broken dreams and old guitars. The barrooms are filled with singers, and their voices are filled with pain. Their songs are all about Nashville, and each sings the same refrain. I wanna ride in the car Hank died in. I wanna stretch out the back of that big old Cadillac, ride that shiny car to every honky tonk and bar. Space up on Opry Place. They tore the church house down. The choir ran away with the circus to that tent show outside town. Their air-conditioned big top is all carpeted inside. See them sing their songs down in the spotlight, or you never know they cry. I wanna ride in the car Hank died in. I wanna stretch out the back of that big old Cadillac, ride that shiny car to every honky tonk and bar. I wanna stretch out the back of that big old Cadillac, ride that shiny car to every honky tonk and bar. Well, thank you. Next one would be good for dancing too.
That's right. You probably haven't done the twist in a while. This next song's a twist.
Hank, this is a church ground. I don't know if they can dance here or not.
This is a song about. Do y'all remember little baby Jessica, who fell down the well in Midland, Texas, about 5 years ago? Well, this is a song about her. We believe in taking current events and making them into songs. So about a year ago, we wrote this song. It's about her travails down there in the well. It could be about any of our travails as we travel through this world.
Hank, is she the one that's got the 900 number now?
No, that's a different baby. That's a different Jessica.
That's Jessica Baby.
Yeah, but in a way, it could be about her too. It's a song called "Little Fallen Angel."
Everybody say, "Oh."
Thank you for that spontaneous response.
Thank you, Midland. Thank you, Jesus,
For my rescue from the well.
from the well.
I saw Satan salivating at the bottom when I fell. I was playing, slowly straying from the path I should be on, till at last there came disaster. One false step and I was gone. Thank you, big love. Thank you, Jesus, for my rescue from the well. I was choking as I lay smoking down in the pit where Satan dwells. Here he is. Friends and neighbors, heed my warning. Or some morning you will fall in Odessa, Arizona, Osaka, or New York City. Oh, take pity when you call. Thank you, Midland. Thank you, Jesus.
And she was eventually rescued by a band of bluegrass musicians.
We got another audience participation tune for you now. It's for us because we enjoy it so much when you join in.
Yeah, this song is called "The Cornhusker Refugee." Excuse me. Thank you. The chorus goes, "Take me home to the flatlands, good old welcome matlands, where the waving fields of wheat say, come back soon." And on the chorus, we'd appreciate it if you pretend to be a field of wheat and answer back, come back soon.
Now we want to see everybody doing this.
That's right. It's important, or the magic doesn't work if we don't all do it. Or something. On the second chorus. On the second chorus, we still do the field of wheat. But we don't say come back soon. Instead, we sing part of the University of Nebraska fight song. That goes, let's hear it for good old Nebraska. So I think you all might need some practice for that. On the count of three.
Everybody.
1, 2, 3.
Let's hear it for good old Nebraska.
That was great.
This is no time to ask why, by the way.
Just boldly go for it. Anyway, this is the Cornhusker Refugee.
Here in San Francisco,
The rain is a drizzling, sitting here drinking with my loneliness and pain. On the bar television, the Giants are losing. I'm living that illusion, so why do I remain? Take me home to the flatlands, welcome back, where the waving fields between say come back soon. Take me home to that little town where everyone's your neighbor and the family ate dead chickens every Sunday afternoon. It's hard to be gay in Lodgepole, Nebraska. Something that I never should have asked him to do. When he left me, he shattered my rose-colored glasses. Still my mind keeps searching for that simple life I knew. Take me home to the flatlands, good old welcome Matlands, where the football fight song is the favorite. Let's hear it for good old Nebraska. Take me home to that little town where everyone's your neighbor and the family ate dead chickens every Sunday afternoon. Cable cars and leather bars have superficial glamour, but the city's constant clamor has no music for me. Nebraska in the evening is harmoniously quiet, but I know I must stay a Cornhusker refugee. Take me home to the flatlands, good old welcome Matlands, where the waving fields of wheat say come back soon, come back soon. Take me home to that little town where everyone's your neighbors and the family ate dead chickens every Sunday afternoon. How I'd love to eat dead chickens on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you, that was fun. Nice week. How do y'all know what wheat looks like anyway? Actually, looked a little bit more like pine trees blowing in the breeze.
Thanks very much. We've got a couple more songs for you. We really appreciate you all coming out and listening tonight. You're a great audience. Thanks very much. I thank the Festival of the Green for having me. You wouldn't think I'd have the blues with a great
Oh, no.
audience like this.
You going on about that again?
Yes, I am.
Sometimes, you know, we're having a perfectly great evening, and suddenly, for seemingly no reason at all, Hank will become extremely depressed.
I think it's your presence, maybe, that does it.
Well, yeah, I guess that's one variable we haven't tried removing from the equation.
True. Anyway, I do have the blues.
Yeah, you may as well go ahead and tell them about it. I know you'll end up doing it anyway.
Probably. You sounds like you're the blues to me. Yeah, I do have the blues, and so we're going to do this song that I had the privilege of co-writing with a very special friend of mine. This was co-written by one of the great songwriters, one of the great blues musicians the world has ever produced, the late George Orwell. Thank you. A lot of people know George for his funny songs and his children's books, like Animal Farm. That was a cute little thing.
Yeah, a couple of that college alternative novel too.
Oh yeah, that was great. But there was a darker, more serious side to George Orwell, and it comes out in this song, which he co-wrote in his declining years, which he spent here in Vermont. It's a song called
Living in a car.
The 1984 Blues.
Oh, I met my baby in the ministry of love. Yeah, I met my baby in the ministry of love. She wrapped herself around me, sent me to the stars above. Oh, Mr. Thorpe policeman, I don't wanna do no wrong. No, Mr. Thorpe policeman, I don't wanna do no wrong. It's my duty to the party, love my baby all night long. My mama joined the party, my daddy was a pro. I was conceived one evening in the ministry of soul. Oh, big brother, have mercy on me. Big brother, have mercy on me. You know I love my baby enthusiastically. I love to hear my baby chanting slogans in the street. We are in control. I love to hear my baby chanting slogans in the street. 1, 2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore. Military clothing, she always looks so sweet. Big brother is watching on the telescreen. Big brother watching on the telescreen. Big brother is watching on the telescreen. Big brother watching on the telescreen. He loves to watch my baby shake her tambourine. My baby loves me so hard, gets me so fatigued. Sometimes I think I'll join the junior anti-sex league. Well. Oh, there's just no word of news speak for the things she can do. Let's see. Existed, would you still remember me? If I never had existed, would you still remember me? Would you think I was a burden on the state economy? All rats in the morning, rats in the afternoon. Rats in the morning, in the afternoon. Oh, rats in the morning, rats in the afternoon. Rats in the morning, in the afternoon. If they don't go away, I'll be re-educated soon. Just no word of news for all the things that she can do. Thank you.
Putting the blues back in the bluegrass. Hank Card. Thank you. With the Austin Lounge Lizards, we got one more for you.
All right. Yeah, you wouldn't think Texas would be famous for naval heroes, but we do have one big naval hero from Texas. But first, let me remind you, we've got our CDs over here. Creatures in the Black Saloon, Highway Cafe of the Damned, Lizard Vision, and Paint Me on Velvet. And we also have all of that in cassette form for those of you who may be format impaired. So,
what was that?
That's kind of
Format impaired.
close, man.
okay, I'm sorry.
Crass.
Electronically challenged, I think, is
Much
the
better.
politically correct term.
The New Age term.
Anyway, yeah, this song is about a naval hero from Texas. You wouldn't think that would be somebody that would come from Texas, but we do have a little bit of coastline, if you can call the Gulf of Mexico a coast.
Sure you do.
However, he didn't live on the Gulf. We don't really know where he learned to run navies. Probably Annapolis. But,
High school.
Mr. Soundman, can we have just a little bit of a vocal monitor all the way across the board, please? Just a little bit more. We've got an a cappella number for you. We want to be able to hear ourselves.
Once again, before we do this, we are the Austin Loungers from Austin, Texas. And we'd like to hear a big round of applause for the Burns sisters who preceded us in the break.
Y'all come see us up in Winterhawk tomorrow night. We'll be in Winterhawk Friday and Saturday night.
Also, thanks a lot to the sound guys. They've done a great job.
We put them in a real bind, and they did a great job. So thanks.
Any problems with the sound? Our fault. It's coming up.
Chester Nimitz Oriental Garden in Fredericksburg, Texas. We sat and ate breakfast and talked about love, which has its so many splendors of opposite genders and thrills of romance. In the Chester Nimitz Oriental Garden, our hearts were beating, the dreams we been keeping inside of us were about to bloom to reality in that locality, lovely and strange. I approached her assignation with a sense of foreboding. Heart was exploding with fear. But I knew when I spied you in the shade of the banyan, my lifelong companion was near. La 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 in the Chester Nimitz Oriental Garden, the goldfish were swimming, and our hearts were brimming with ecstasy. Let us raise our glasses and remember that day in September in Fredericksburg town. Yes, I am as young as you, did not fight in World War II. Chester Nimitz is to me just a page of history, but I always will be grateful to the man who led that faithful. I'm hopping campaign. Hopping campaign.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Bye.
Thank you very much. Great time.
Wow, thanks. We do appreciate that.
Sure do make us feel welcome up here.
Yeah, we'd like to thank all the folks who put this concert series on, the Festival in Green on it. They've done a wonderful job and they've treated us great. So.
Well, what a wonderful town y'all have here. Middlebury is a beautiful, beautiful little town. Thank you very much. We hope we can come back real soon.
And we'd like to thank the Middlebury Inn for putting us up tonight. seen this sucker coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and a one big eye. I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. Looks like a purple people eater to me. It was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. What a sight to see. He came down to earth and landed in a tree. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. He looked down and said with a voice so gruff, he said,
I wouldn't eat you because you taste like snuff.
it was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. What a sight to see. Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line? He said,
Eating purple people really sure is fine.
that's not the reason that he came to land.
I want to play the banjo in a bluegrass band.
Was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. We play bluegrass, flying purple people eater. What a sight to see. Well, he went on his way, and what do you know? I saw him on TV with Arsenio, playing the banjo, really knocking him dead. Playing Playing Hill Special and Panama Red. It was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. He's the now and flying purple people eater. What a sight to see.
Thank you again. Good night.